Welcome back to another episode of Pandemic Cooking with Unwilling Kids. I'm your host, Liam Paul. So today we're going to be making some favorite Thanksgiving side dishes and some desserts to go along with it. And this is going to be the stuffing. Alright, so we're going to start out with the most important thing, is the bread. We let it sit and dry for about 2 days, and you got to make sure it's not cooked. So we've diced up about 2 celery stalks and about half an onion. So we need a couple cups of chicken broth, half a stick of butter, 2 eggs, and some spices. So these are the spices and like the tablespoons, teaspoons, and stuff that you need. You need 1 tablespoon of sage, 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt, black pepper, and parsley, and then half a teaspoon of thyme and rosemary. So first we're gonna cook our vegetables. So you want to get your half a stick of butter, and then unravel it, and then melt it in your pan. So we've melted our butter on medium-low heat. Now we're going to put our vegetables in. So we're cooking these on medium-low heat, and we're going to try to get them soft all the way around, just not brown. So while our vegetables are cooking, we're going to crack these eggs. Yep. Let's wash your hands off from that. So we've added the spices to our egg mix, and now we're going to mix it up. Now let's take the whisk out. And let's just pour this egg mixture in here. And then you got to make sure you get everything out of this, as much as you can. And you're going to want to take your vegetables, and you're going to just pour it in the mixture. Alright, so we have two cups of chicken broth, and we may not use all of this because we want it moist, but we don't want it like too moist where it's like soggy. So we're just gonna add this in a little bit at a time. Jackie Abbott, moist. Alright, so now that we stirred this up a little bit, it's still like really dry. So we're gonna add a little bit more chicken broth just to make it a little bit more moist. So now that we have this not too dry and not too soggy, it's pretty much good to go, I think. I've never made this, but Jackie Abbott, moist. So find a big enough cooking pan to hold that. And you don't want it too deep, so that's why we chose a big one. And then you want to get your easy cleanup pan. It's ready to go. Okay, now we're going to start putting this in here. Alright, so now that we have this all leveled out, we're going to put it in this oven over here for 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Alright, so it's about 10:20 in the morning, and this is on Thanksgiving morning, and this is something you could cook in advance. You know, you could cook it the day before or something, and like seal it up tight in the fridge overnight, and then whenever you're ready to cook it, cook it. Alright, so we're going to put this in the fridge, and then we're going to move on to our next side dish, which is carrots. Alright, so our next side dish is going to be balsamic glazed carrots. We have a carrot peeler, and we're going to peel all these carrots. Alright, so we've rough chopped these carrots into roughly good even sized pieces, and then we used I forgot a step, and a responsible adult did this because apparently I couldn't do it. But anyway, we added a half teaspoon of salt, pepper, parsley, basil, and dill. So if you're doing measurements, you probably want to add a tablespoon of olive oil and about half a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar and honey.
Tablespoon.
Tablespoon. That's what I meant to say. We're gonna add the 1 tablespoon to the mixture. That. Alright, so we've added our balsamic vinegar and our honey, and now we're just going to stir this until we get a good mix. Alright, so now that we've added our cooking spray, we're going to pour these carrots on. And you want to make it as even as possible. But if you can't, then you're gonna have to use another baking sheet. Alright, so now that we've got these evened out, we don't need another pan. And you're gonna cook it in a 350 degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. And you're gonna cook it until you want it to be done. Alright, so it's about 11 o'clock now. And the other side dish that we made earlier, we could put these in the same oven because they both cook at the same temperature and like most likely time. So we're probably just gonna put it in the fridge until we're ready to cook it, so we can cook it at the same time. And next up is the best part of the meal, dessert. Alright, so now it's time for the dessert. We have 2 9-inch deep dish pie crust, and we've measured out in both of these thingies a half of a cup of flour and a cup and 1/4 of sugar.
What are we making, Liam?
Oh yeah, and we're making sugar cream pie, which is good. Alright, so we put 3/4 of 2% milk, right? Yeah, 2% milk. And we're gonna put 1 cup of heavy whipping cream in both of these. So we're gonna put half a teaspoon of vanilla extract in this one, and then almond extract in this one. whisk it until it's well incorporated. Alright, so we've whisked these until they were well incorporated. Now we're just gonna pour these into the pie mixtures, or into the pie crust. So now we have some grounded nutmeg, and now we're just gonna lightly spread this on the top. Alright, so now that we've added all the nutmeg and the butter, we're now gonna put it in a 450-degree oven, which is down here. And we're gonna set it in there for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna lower it to 350, and we're gonna put it in there for another additional 30 minutes until the pie is set. So I just burped, that's why I'm laughing. And then once the pie is done, we're gonna let it sit until it gets to room temperature, and then we're gonna serve it chilled. Alright, so it's about 12:40 right now, and the kitchen, as you can see, is a buzz of activity. Alright, so we have the sugar cream pie that we made. It's awesome. We got the sweet potatoes. We got the corn, the green beans that I like, the stuffing, and then we got the ham. And now we're ready to eat everything. So we have sugar cream pie, we got pineapple stuff, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, rolls, carrots, corn, green beans, stuffing, got the ham, right there. Happy Thanksgiving. Bon appetit.